In January 2026, Maharashtra's Nashik region reported a fatal encounter between a farmer and a leopard. The incident occurred during routine agricultural activity and escalated suddenly, resulting in both the man and the leopard falling into an open well and losing their lives. Similarly, several other incidents have been reported in different parts of Maharashtra in late 2025.
पुण्यामध्ये शिरूर तालुक्यातल्या पिंपरखेडमध्ये बिबट्याने एका 13 वर्षांच्या मुलावर जीवघेणा हल्ला केलाय.
खारेकर्जुने गावामध्ये बिबट्याच्या हल्ल्यामध्ये 5 वर्षीय चिमुकलीचा मृत्यू झालाय. कालच्या ग्रामीण भागाच्या नंतर आता शहरी भागामध्ये देखील बिबट्याचा वावर बघायला मिळतोय.
अहिल्यानगर आणि नाशिक नंतर आता नागपुरात देखील बिबट्यांची चाहूल लागली आहे. नागपूर शहरातील भांडेवाडी परिसरामध्ये सकाळी एका घरात बिबट्या दिसला आणि त्यानंतर परिसरामध्ये एकच खळबळ उडाली.
तलाव रोड परिसरात बिबट्याचा वावर आढळून आलाय. नागरी वसाहतीमध्ये बिबट्याचा वावर आहे. बिबट्याने 3 जणांवर हल्ला केलाय आणि त्यामुळे नागरिकांमध्ये भीतीचं वातावरण पसरलंय.
Together, these incidents show a rising human-leopard conflict in Maharashtra. Why are these encounters increasing? Let's break it down in today's video. Before we understand why leopard attacks are increasing, it is important to understand what a leopard actually is. In English, the animal is known as the leopard. Its scientific name is Panthera pardus. The word panthera comes from an ancient Greek term for roaring big cats, while pardus means a spotted big cat. Together, Panthera pardus identifies the leopard as a powerful spotted predator, placing it in the same family as lions, tigers, and jaguars. In Sanskrit, the leopard is commonly referred to as chitrak or chitrakaha. Chitra means spotted, while kaya refers to the body. In Hindi, the leopard is called tendua, and in Marathi, it is known as bibdia. Now coming to its history. Leopards are not recent animals. Scientific evidence shows that leopards have been present on Earth for nearly 4.35 million years. Fossil records indicate that early leopards evolved in Africa and later spread across large parts of Asia and Europe. Over thousands of years, they adapted to very different environments, from African savannas to dense Indian forests, dry deserts, and even cold mountain regions. After the leopard was first described, scientists suggested 27 subspecies between 1794 and 1956. Since 1996, mitochondrial analysis recognized 8 valid subspecies, with later studies identifying a 9th, the Arabian leopard. The African leopard is the most widespread, thriving across savannas, forests, and deserts, while the Indian leopard is highly adaptable and often lives close to human settlements. The Amur leopard, the rarest subspecies, is uniquely suited to cold, snow-covered landscapes. The Arabian leopard is the smallest, adapted to rugged and arid mountain regions, whereas the Persian leopard is among the largest, inhabiting mountainous areas of West and Central Asia. The Javan leopard is critically endangered and restricted to the forests of Java, Indonesia. On the island of Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan leopard stands as the apex predator and is often larger due to minimal competition. The Indo-Chinese leopard is known for its elusive nature and preference for dense tropical forests, where it remains rarely seen despite its wide historical range. Even though all these animals belong to the same species, there are noticeable physical differences. African leopards are generally larger and more muscular, with males weighing between 60 and 90 kilograms. Indian leopards, on the other hand, are usually more slender and lightweight, with males averaging 50 to 70 kilograms. The skull structure also differs slightly. African leopards tend to have longer, narrower skulls, while Indian leopards have broader, heavier ones. Leopards are highly adaptable big cats found across diverse habitats, from rainforests and deserts to high mountains. And in India, they even thrive in hilly areas, riverine forests, and dense sugarcane fields that offer cover from humans and larger predators. To survive and thrive, leopards need three essential elements. The first is shelter and hiding spots. Leopards are the most tree-oriented big cats. They rest, scan for prey, and escape threats from lions or tigers by climbing trees. Female leopards need secluded spots like caves, rock crevices, hollow trees, or dense thickets to hide their cubs for the first 8 weeks. Dense vegetation allows them to blend their rosette-patterned fur with shadows, making them nearly invisible while stalking prey. The second essential element is diet. Leopards are generalist predators, feeding on everything from insects and fish to medium-sized mammals. Leopards often drag their kills into trees, even if the carcass is heavier than themselves, to protect it from scavengers like hyenas. The third essential element is space and territory. Leopards are solitary and territorial, marking their home ranges with urine, claw marks, and vocal calls. Territory size varies with prey availability, from 10 to 15 square kilometers in food-rich areas to over 450 square kilometers in arid regions. Although they can survive up to 10 days without water, leopards usually stay within 500 meters to 5 kilometers of water sources. The Indian leopard, scientifically known as Panthera pardus fusca, became one of the most adaptable large predators in the region. Today, at a global level, leopards are classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. In West Africa, the situation is alarming. Over the last 20 years, the leopard population there has dropped by nearly 50%, leaving only about 354 mature individuals. In late 2025, the IUCN officially reclassified the West African leopard as endangered, reflecting the severity of this decline. In sharp contrast, India presents a very different picture. As of the 2022 national estimate, India is home to approximately 13,874 leopards. To understand why leopard encounters in Maharashtra are increasing, we need to look closely at both the behavior of these animals and the changes in their environment. Leopards are highly intelligent and adaptable predators. Their natural instincts make them cautious, solitary hunters, relying on stealth, camouflage, and ambush to catch prey. But when their natural habitats shrink or change, these instincts can bring them into conflict with humans. One major factor is the sugarcane harvesting season, which occurs from late year to early year. Sugarcane fields provide dense cover where leopards often rest, breed, and hunt small animals. When the crop is cut for harvest, this natural hiding space disappears almost overnight. Leopards that are disturbed during this time may feel threatened or cornered, and even defensive reactions can turn into attacks on nearby humans, most often farmers working in the fields. Another important factor is the rise of what conservationists call sugar babies. These are leopards born and raised entirely in agricultural landscapes rather than deep forests. Growing up among farm machinery, irrigation pumps, and human activity, these leopards lose much of their natural fear of people. They learn that humans are not immediately threatening, which allows them to live close to villages and farms. While this adaptability is impressive, it also increases the likelihood of human-leopard encounters. Prey availability in human-dominated areas also plays a role. Poor waste management attracts feral dogs, pigs, and even livestock to the edges of villages and towns. Leopards see these animals as easy prey, which draws them repeatedly into areas where humans live and work. What starts as a hunt for food can quickly escalate into a dangerous encounter when humans are nearby. The fragmentation of forests is another critical factor. Rapid urban expansion, highways, industrial zones, and agricultural development have carved up traditional leopard habitats into small, disconnected patches. Leopards are forced to move through shared landscapes, navigating between small green patches and human settlements. Their instinct to patrol territories and find food doesn't stop for roads or villages, which is why encounters have increased. Interestingly, tiger recovery in protected forests is also indirectly affecting leopards. Tigers, being the larger apex predator, often push leopards to the forest edges to reduce competition. The leopards, now displaced, often end up near human settlements where food and cover are available, but the risk of conflict is higher. Efforts to manage problem leopards by translocation, capturing them and releasing them in distant forests, often fail. Leopards are highly territorial, and when moved, they attempt to return to their original home range. The stress of being relocated can make them more aggressive, sometimes leading to attacks near the release site. Finally, leopard attacks are often influenced by the vulnerability of humans in the area. Leopards are ambush predators, relying on stealth and surprise. Children and adults who are crouching, sitting, or otherwise exposed in fields may appear as small, easy targets. In many tragic cases, the attack happens almost instantly, giving the person no time to react. The increasing number of leopard attacks in Maharashtra has become a serious political concern, drawing attention from state leaders to policymakers. Earlier, the Chief Minister of Maharashtra proposed presenting the growing leopard attacks as a state disaster. Alongside this, he suggested lowering the legal protection of leopards from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2. Let us understand what exactly does that means. Schedule 1 animals have the highest level of protection under Indian law. You cannot capture, harm, or kill them without special government permission because they are considered critical to wildlife conservation. Examples include the Bengal tiger, Asian elephant, Indian rhinoceros, snow leopard, Great Indian bustard, etc. Schedule 2 animals still have protection, but the rules are more relaxed. In certain situations, such as if a leopard is repeatedly attacking humans or livestock, it could be legally hunted or captured more easily. Examples include the rhesus macaque, Indian fox, Indian hare, Indian civet, flying squirrel, etc.
So, lowering leopards to Schedule 2 would make it easier for authorities to control problem animals. But it also reduces their safety and could lead to more killings.
The forest minister suggested that leopards that become man-eaters could be shot on sight. At the same time, he proposed building hundreds of cages to trap leopards and move them to deep forests. Another suggestion was to release goats in forests, hoping the leopards would hunt them instead of coming into villages. Experts have criticized these measures.
Now, let's explore the history of leopards in India. Their populations once declined sharply, but conservation efforts have helped them recover, leading to more frequent interactions with humans.
1. Colonial era and early decline, 1900s to 1971. In the early 1900s, leopards were treated as pests or threats to livestock and humans. British authorities and princely states offered bounties for killing them, while shikar made leopard hunting a prestigious sport. Along with habitat loss, this led to a 75 to 90% population crash, pushing leopards close to disappearance across much of India. 2. Radical protection and policy, 1972 to 2000s. The situation began to change in 1972 with the passing of the Wildlife Protection Act. For the first time, leopards were placed under Schedule 1, the highest level of legal protection. This made hunting leopards illegal and marked the beginning of a new era of conservation. In 1975, leopards were added to Appendix 1 of CITES, the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, which banned international trade of leopard skins or other parts. This move helped reduce commercial hunting pressures. Although there was no dedicated Project Leopard like Project Tiger, launched in 1973, leopards indirectly benefited from tiger conservation. Tiger reserves, protected for tigers, also provided leopards with safe, prey-rich habitats, a phenomenon called the umbrella effect. By protecting tigers, India was also protecting leopards and other wildlife sharing the same space. 3. Scientific monitoring era, 2014 to present. For the first time, the Indian government began systematic scientific censuses of leopards, often conducted alongside tiger surveys. This helped understand population trends accurately rather than relying on rough estimates. Let's take a look at some of the recent initiatives that are helping strengthen leopard protection in India. To begin with, in the 2025-26 Union Budget, the Ministry of Environment, Forest, and Climate Change received an allocation of over 3,400 crore rupees, a 9% increase compared to the previous year. In addition to this, during Wildlife Week 2025, the government launched the second cycle of the snow leopard population assessment, known as SPAI 2.0. This phase focuses on improving scientific monitoring of snow leopards, strengthening habitat conservation in high-altitude landscapes, and safeguarding the wider ecosystem that supports multiple species. Despite signs of population recovery, leopards continue to face significant ongoing threats. One of the biggest threats is road mortality. Highways and fast-moving traffic cutting through forested landscapes are leading to an increasing number of leopard deaths. Another major concern is poaching. Leopards are illegally hunted for their skins, which are often passed off as fake tiger skins in the illegal wildlife trade. In fact, leopards are estimated to be 7 times more likely to be poached than tigers. And while the national leopard population may be showing an upward trend, the situation isn't uniform everywhere. Some regions are seeing sharp declines. Uttarakhand has recorded a 22% drop, while Odisha has seen a 25% decline, largely driven by human-wildlife conflict and continued poaching pressures.
Now, let us understand how several landmark Supreme Court rulings over the years have shaped wildlife conservation in India, defining how animals are protected and how humans may interact with them.
One of the most important cases in Indian wildlife law was the conviction of Sansar Chand, known as India's most notorious poacher of tigers and leopards. The Supreme Court upheld his conviction for illegal trade in skins. In November 2025, the Supreme Court issued a landmark order banning all mining inside national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and even within 1 kilometer of their boundaries. Similarly, the Supreme Court ruled that tiger safaris, which often include leopards, cannot operate in critical core habitats, allowing wildlife to live undisturbed in their prime habitats. The rising leopard-human conflict in Maharashtra has drawn the attention of wildlife experts from around the world. In December 2025, the Maharashtra Forest Department hosted a special international training session in Pune. The program was led by wildlife experts Hein Schoeman and Dr. Josephine Peterson, training 40-plus frontline officers. As of 2026, the latest official assessments from the Status of Leopards in India report show that leopards are thriving across several protected landscapes in the country. Tiger reserves, in particular, act as key strongholds, offering suitable habitat and prey. In many of these areas, leopards successfully coexist with other large predators, highlighting both their adaptability and the importance of well-managed forests. So, what are the reasons that lead leopards to become man-eaters? Possible reasons could be disease outbreaks that exposed leopards to human remains and encouraged scavenging, injuries or old age that made hunting wild prey difficult, loss of habitat and natural prey due to deforestation and human expansion, and accidental habituation in human-dominated landscapes, where repeated exposure reduces fear and increases the risk of attacks. Leopards are not natural man-eaters, but fossil evidence, such as the 1.8 million-year-old hominid skull SK54 from Sugarcane, South Africa, bearing leopard bite marks, shows they occasionally preyed on early humans due to opportunistic and adaptive hunting behavior. While most leopards avoid people, the early 20th century saw a few that became known for repeated attacks on humans. Here are some of the most notorious cases. As leopard encounters rise across Maharashtra, authorities are using technology, scientific trials, and emergency protocols to protect both people and leopards. By now, we understand the main reasons behind leopard attacks. Let's see how to tackle them safely by coexisting intelligently, adjusting human behavior, improving safety. Experts recommend a set of simple but effective safety practices, often called a safety protocol. Farmers are encouraged to wear neck guards, as leopards often aim for the throat, and carry sticks or umbrellas for defense while working. Make noise when walking through fields or dark paths to give them a chance to move away safely. Leopards instinctively hunt small, crouching prey. When working in fields, stand tall if you sense a leopard nearby. This reduces the chance of being mistaken for prey. Avoid walking alone between dusk and dawn when leopards are most active. Keep children indoors or supervised by adults after sunset. Keep cattle, goats, and pet dogs in sturdy, enclosed shelters at night. Open sheds attract leopards searching for food. Maintain safe space around homes. Clear thick bushes, tall grass, and dense vegetation near homes to remove potential hiding spots for leopards.
If you found this video informative, don't forget to hype, like, share, and subscribe. We'd love to hear your thoughts on human-leopard coexistence or your own wildlife experiences. Thanks for watching.